My name is Daniel Nyohaku Soergel, and I'm here with Poppy, and I'm going to teach Makoto Shinjitsu. Now, this piece was taught by my teacher to me and a lot of other people, and I had already studied with him for 10 years, Ronnie Nyogetsu Selden. And I didn't know he wrote pieces, and he wrote this piece. It means with the heart of true sincerity. And the music is powerful. And also, it's a way of life to act with the heart of true sincerity. So, I'm going to play this piece, an advanced Shakuhachi piece. So, I'm going to explain some of the techniques to you. So, I'm going to jump right in and get started. Start with the sumeri, which is the most difficult note on the shakuhachi. So, this will take a little bit of work. When you start a piece, the first note is very important, and this note is very subtle and dark. So it's hard to get a good purchase on the note, so I'm going to give it a try. So let's go with that. Now, as far as the vibrato goes, it starts steady. So then you play the note, you start the note, it grows, and the note becomes full, and then slowly the vibrato begins, and then the vibrato suddenly speeds up without you noticing it. And so I like to just emphasize that you shouldn't just be wiggling your head and introducing vibrato. It's actually quite ugly. In fact, you can play this piece with very little vibrato, but Ronnie played it this way, so I'm going to teach it to you the way I learned it. So now the second phrase after the breath mark, the horizontal line. Third place. Now, this next phrase, which has a zigzag, so at the bottom right-hand corner of the page, you're starting with the ro dai meri, and you slowly raise your head and then shake it violently and have it a burst at the second half. So this is what it sounds like. So that gets your attention, and I have my emotional response right next to me here, at least for now. So I'm playing with a kind of windy sound, which is okay, but there are parts of this music where I'm going to use a cleaner sound. So what happened at the bottom was re, so there's the five, repeat the thumb twice, and then chi, okay, it says karo, head up. So now I'm coming down with the three finger to flatten it at the end there. So that's that little hook, that comma shaped. So sometimes it's an ornament that's put in there. You hear the pitch and then it goes down, distinctly down. It's not like it fades away. So the next phrase, the chi. So now that chi is articulated with the four. And so as this piece started out with very little detail, shall I say, or technical embellishments, but as the piece goes on, it becomes more a virtuoso piece. So we'll do the chi. And there's two types of striking of that four, like that sound. One is distinctive, and the other one is a slow repeat, which has a beautiful sound. You can hear the in-between note. So listen to the slow repeat. Okay, so that tsutsu is the 3. You can see it right there. So now we get into a Kinko influenced phrase. The next one, Su Atari Re. So you're starting with that Sumeri and that the right arrow there. It's a down and up. And as you come up to the Re, you articulate. And then haro. Now, that haro is finishing this first introductory phase. So this composition has an introduction and has distinct sections I'm going to call out to you. So the haro is the strongest note on the shakuhachi. So I'm going to play that, and that ends this first section. The mood has suddenly shifted, and it's going to become dramatic. So, honte, this is the high part. Then it repeats. So now here's the problem. When you get to these, that's a high note, and it's hard to play that sweetly. It's actually hard to get unless your lips are moist and everything's going right. So, and also if you were playing this, people were listening or not listening, you can get nervous. So, and then you lose, then your mouth becomes dry. And so you can lose that beautiful sound. So always strive to try to keep those higher notes from becoming grating. Now, when you see that strange mark, it looks like a percentage sign. It's really just a simple repeat. So all these pieces need to be practiced, especially the runs, so that you don't think about fumbling. And these runs and some of these details come from other pieces. So Ronnie had played the shakuhachi for many years when he wrote this work, and there are bits and pieces you may recognize from other hankyoku. So if you've been playing a while, you'll probably know most or almost all of these techniques. And some of these phrases will seem oddly familiar, but that's how it is with all composers, actually. The easiest way to get that flattened chi is to just have your head down with it. So your head is down for all of that. So now you're going to get down to that row, daimeri, so your head's going to be way down. So I'll play that run. Now this phrase, at the end, the Sumeri. So Sumeris can be played different ways. This is hankyoku. This is music originally written for the shakuhachi. So so that getting back to that tsutsu at the end there, I am using the finger at the end, but I'm flattening the tsu at the beginning with my head down. And I'm using it as a sort of a trick. So let me just play that again. And now the next one. So again, I'm trapping air with the two, coming down, coming up a little bit, and then trapping air with that re. So this takes a lot of practice, but it's fun because you feel like someday you're going to get it. And maybe not. But here I am trying to perfect my techniques, and some of them I can do, some of them I struggle with. So now it says Muraiki, which is a combination of air and sound, but it's a little too much air and not quite enough sound to feel good about, and it's very startling. So it's a blast now, a blast of air, and it's also a blast to play. So your air comes over it, and much of it goes out. Now you can practice the amount of air that's giving you that rush sound like a blast. And not everybody is happy about hearing this, but this piece is becoming very intense. So I'm going to just play it again. That's the next phrase as well. Now, this is a run, so this is a dramatic moment. So, you know what? If you don't get all these notes right, it's actually perfectly okay. Which Ronnie told me, no, if you can't quite do it, don't worry about it. He's just blast of notes and chaos just for a second. But if I slowed it down, which doesn't sound good at all. So it's a piece you can kind of have fun with. Now this confusion is calmed down a little bit. That's a good time for vibrato when you have enough time to feel it and go into it. And then it repeats in the high octave. My sound is becoming sweeter and sounding like it's more finesse. Players sometimes play rough, and some of them they play smooth with a lot of sweetness. But what I try to do is vary that within the same piece for the emotional effect. Stop. This is a turning point, and something's coming, something's expectant. And the way you play, if you can captivate somebody's attention, they're expecting the next thing to happen. And so feel that with the music. See, music is always expectation and resolution, or conflict and resolution. So what I want to call your attention to is the word ma. Ma means emptiness, and it's a space. So in this case, it's not a rest, but it's a quiet, just a second of quietness that you know something is going to happen, and it's very powerful. So it's not a tired repeat. It's not even so much a breath repeat, but it's an expectant kind of repeat. So here's how it sounds. I'm going to start with the ro, re, chi, and then ma, and then the next chi. So the ah and the ha. So ha is 2-4-5 is open, and those same fingers are shaded, and your head comes down. So you'll have to feel the amount of shading as you play, and every flute is different, every set of lips is different, and so you'll shade just so you get this slightly the right pitch and then a slightly compressed sound, and they play off each other very beautifully. And that's a huge part of shakuhachi music if you've been in it for a while. And try not to be harsh, and it's much easier than the he. But anyways, here we go. The he and the e are very bright, can be harsh notes depending on your flute, and my flute is wants to go crazy, so I have trouble taming this flute. But you know what? We all are attracted to difficult challenges in life. So here we go. And that's then he at the end. It's tricky. So the sign of a good player or an advanced player, good and advanced is not the same thing, but is how quickly here you can move your thumb. And those are good things to practice. The same thing with how clean you can approach your Su Meri, that difficult note. The first note of this piece. So all of these little tricks. Sometimes it's good if you're in the mood to play and you want to play, but you're not ready to spread your music out and work at it and repeat. It's good to practice thumb work and neck work and trying to move quickly between the right pitches. It takes a long time, but it's fun. Instead of just noodling around and just playing anything, paying attention to, this is what I want to get. I want to get my thumb to be faster. And it just won't happen because you understand how to do it. The muscles have to develop. And there's something about the coordination between the brain and the fingers and the whole body, the breathing, that happens with musicians. You become very athletic in a way. Your fine motor skills become very advanced. But it only happens through repetition, and the brain is making this happen quickly. So it's good to noodle around by making a focused kind of practice. I'm going to practice my trills today. I'm going to practice my, quiet playing today. I'm going to practice my loud playing today. So you'll eventually be able to handle these complicated techniques. Again, in this high section, I'm going to go on to the next phrase. And then the next one. And I'm going to go on to the next one. This is the climax of the piece, or the sonic climax. So what's coming up is a very difficult high re, the big re. Higher, the 3 octaves of the shakuhachi can be played with the re. And it's a hard note to get. Your lips have to be tense, and your airstream has to be tight. And so these notes preceding that is a way of getting your lips and your mind focused to reach for that note. And it may not come out, but go on with the piece anyways. So I'm going to give it a try for you right now. Look for that. I'm going to go right into that next phrase. It says a breath mark, but at this point it almost doesn't matter. You're trying to reach for that note. And I didn't lose my audience. Usually he'll run out of the room when I reach for that note. So be kind to your audience. So now there's something going on. It gets even stronger, but in the low octave. The emotional range of this piece is really amazing. So there's something you can do. You can hit the row first, the low octave row. So now, as if that's not enough, try to get the windy sound of the Muraiki. And now, here we are, the head is slightly lowered, so you're getting that chi meri. And now we're exhaling here in an emotional sense. Now this phrase we've had before. Now here's a chance to focus on the attack of the four. Now I'm going to change things up a bit. Oh, there you are. Okay. So that joining phrase there, it's got the ma in it, but I think you can feel it at this point. And then the phrase repeats a third time. And then one final time, but it now has the tail on it. And we go back to the first sound of the piece, that sumeri. And that restless feeling is going away, and people or animals are settling down now. And now the final phrase repeats that little musical note that you had there, but then it has the head lowering and quickly up with the burst, but in a soft way. So look for this piece online. I played it in performance, and sometimes in performance things are moved around, played faster or slower, and a little more of a loose feel to it. So what you need to do is play this piece again and again and make it your piece. Make it so that you feel what the next phrase is going to be, and then you'll feel how to lead up to the tension and release. And so Makoto Shinjitsu by Ronnie Nyogetsu Selden, and it means with the heart of true sincerity. And my name again is Daniel Nyohaku Soergel, and this is my audience today, Poppy. Thanks.